Hey y'all, I'm Rachel, owner and artist here at Stella Rose Boutique, located inside Stella Rose Mercantile here in Greenville, Tennessee. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button for me, and if you're not, welcome back, friends and family. If you haven't been following me, I'm going to catch you up to speed a little bit here. I was sick for the first probably 3.5, 4 months of this year, and I started to feel better, so we were able to get my knee surgery in. I had a total knee replacement done on June 1st. It triggered my multiple sclerosis to want to act up, so I had a week-long stay in the hospital. Then I got home, and 2 days later was at the hospital again, and we found out I had 2 blood clots in my popliteal vein, which is a deep vein. So if they dislodge, I will die from a pulmonary embolism. So they put me on an emergency dose of blood thinners and are trying to thin them out so that I don't die from a blood clot. So I'm on home health and doing physical therapy here at the house. And my children brought my creative studio from downstairs upstairs because I can't do the stairs. So I'm limited on some of my creations and thrift flips to stuff that I've had before and some things I got ready prior to having surgery. So stick around and I'll show you what I got done here in the new kitchen studio this week. I picked up this really cool vintage picnic basket for a couple of bucks at the local Shiloh auction house a few weeks before my knee surgery. I am painting it all in Fusion paint today. The lid is in Prairie Sunset. If you see how I'm painting it, it's just one stroke and I leave it alone with the paint. You don't go back and forth with the Fusion paint. Then the second coat, you get completely even coverage on and it dries beautifully. I am using Upper Canada for the basket color. I am in love with this green. It is one of my favorites. However, unfortunately, it is part of the limited edition line. I'm really hoping that they decide to make it as part of their regular line. I love it. You see me going back here with the second coat for the coverage. You see how it's full and it's even, and it has the top coat already in it, so I don't have to put a sealer on it before I put my transfers or stamps on it. Then the inside color, I used Fusion's Blue Pine. After I was done painting the basket in Fusion, I did not have to put a top coat down because it has a built-in top coat to the paint, so I could just apply the stamps and transfers to it. My kids brought up all of my crafting supplies upstairs because of the knee surgery, so I went to my drawers and got my kindest regards and my Le Courrier stamp out, and the Wanderer transfer and the Whispering Willow transfer. This is for both this project and the next one that I'm doing. I am not afraid to cut up my transfers and put them down in all kinds of different ways. You cannot hurt them by cutting them up and making all kinds of different pieces out of them. That's what makes each project individual and unique and not like any of the others. So I put my first layer down with the Kindest Regards stamp. I purchased this stamp before I became a stockist. This is my ultimate favorite stamp out of all of them that they have. After I was done, I did use the China Blue ink from IOD to stamp that with. I did speed it up a little bit to dry it with the heat gun so I could apply my transfers. I fussed a little bit and tried to figure out which way I liked it here and there and played with it for a little bit, and then I put them all down. I did cover the top with a top coat to protect the transfers. I wanted to keep it a flat matte look, so I used my Sweet Pickins top coat in flat over the top of the transfers to protect them. I took some scrap wood and cut it up and sanded it down because the idea came from Miss Linda Purdy at Second Chance Decor and More. I will put her link to her page in my description box. She has such adorable ideas, and she has 4 booths, y'all, and she is a workhorse. Oh, but her stuff is absolutely adorable. Great ideas. Very talented lady. So I gave all these blocks 2 coats of the cottage colors White Linen, it is by DIY. It is a mineral paint. Then you see me here distressing the edges. You can distress this paint if it's done shortly after you paint the project, but if it sits on there for any period of time, you cannot distress it afterwards. Then I took out my stone gray ink and ink pad. I inked it up and I started stamping down the ink on the Le Courrier stamp. You see me here, the first way I stamped it was I put the stamp on the top of the block. It didn't come out as crisp as I would have liked it to, so I then did it the other way and I inked up the other side and I put the wood on top of the stamp, and this gave me a very crisp stamp impression. I then got out my basket of my bits and bobs and scraps that I have left over from different transfers and pieces, and used those to put on the tops of them. I did get out my Whispering Willow because I wanted some of the mushrooms on that transfer. So you see me here going through a bunch of them, figuring out what I'm going to do, and I pulled out all kinds of different stuff, and then I played with it and moved it around and fussed and finally got which ones I was going to put where. After I was done with the stamps and the transfers, I sealed them up with Sweet Pickins top coat. I think for the picnic basket, I called it flat, but it is matte. So the Sweet Pickins top coat and matte. I did it just on the top because the DIY paint has a built-in sealer and I didn't need to seal the rest of it. Once that dried, I added some jute twine, tied it off on the bottoms, and this project was all done. This next project isn't really a project, it's just something I like to do for a little added personal touch when I have the time. I stamp the bags that my customers bring their products home in, and if they want to reuse the bag and regift it as a gift bag, they can. I used the IOD sunflower stamp and the birds and branches stamp. It is retired and I do not have any more, but there may be some stockists that do still have it. And the rose toile stamp. This is also retired. I'm not sure if I have any more. I will put a link to it in the description box below if I do. Here are the bags all done. All of the paint and products used in these projects can be purchased at stellarosemercantile.co or come by and see me at 524 Justice Drive, Greenville, Tennessee. Thank you so much for supporting my channel and helping me grow. Bye!